Now we're going to connect the wire. I dropped the wire down through the hole, and I've got a white wire from the fan, and I have a white wire from the wiring, and I twist the wire around there, and then I take my wire nut and I screw it in place, and I keep screwing until it's tight. Alright, I can't screw it anymore. Now what's holding those two wires together, if you look in here, you see the little spring, see the little wire spring that's inside there? That's what holds the two wires together. So now I'll take my black wire, and there's a double black wire here, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then I'll wrap it around my black, and then take my wire nut again and screw it into place. Keep screwing until it's tight. And the last is my ground wire. Now, ground wire from the appliance is going to be green, always, okay? But the wire from the regular wiring is just going to be plain bare copper. And again, we'll twist those two together, and we'll put that on. Now, I was talking about how the fact that there's two black wires in here. Now, if we can put a light kit on this fan, and what I've done is I've already powered this light kit connector in case I ever want to put a light on it. But that's why the two wires are in there. On the newer fans, the fan wire is blue, or I'm sorry, the light wire is blue and the fan wire is the black. So basically we've set up our wiring. We need to get our thing hung and in our hole. Now what I'm going to do, just kind of get the wires back into the center area, because what's going on next is our little cap that just kind of dresses up the top. And you can see there's just two screws, and that's it. Now the cap is in place and the fan is in place. Our wire that we were talking about earlier, our hot wire that used to hook up to the electric circuits. Now we've turned the power off because we don't want to get shocked and we don't want to short circuit. But what I need to determine is how far does this run, and where do I put the junction box to run from the fan. It's just basically a simple measurement. I was hoping we would come in here, but primarily what we're going to do is screw this box in place and run that fan, this wire here, and then the wire from the fan to there. And we'll have to put electrical connectors in here to hold the wires in place. And that we do before we hang it. Now this is the electrical box that we're going to use to make our junction, and you never want to leave wires, even if you have wire nuts on them, open for fear of shock. Now you notice they have these little tab things all over this box. And what we have to do is insert one of these electrical wire connectors into the box. And we do that with a screw, and then what will happen once the wire goes through there, we'll tighten down the wire with these screws to hold it in place so it doesn't move around. The easiest way, and I've determined that I'm going to knock this one out for the wire coming this way, and I'll knock one out from the top for the wire coming from the fan. So I might as well, to give us the most room, see where the little weld is here? See that? What I'm going to do is put the screwdriver away from that, give it a tap, and then just worry it away with my finger, and it'll pop loose. Takes a little bit of doing, but it'll come loose. Of course, the one we want to show is the hardest one to get. There she's coming now. When I was a kid, my dad would give me these and I'd run around like they were fake money. So those are little things there. Alright, we'll go ahead and pop out our one on the end here. Hopefully the weld won't be as strong on that, or the this one's going to come quicker. So now I have two pieces of money. And we take the nut off and we insert the wire connector. And these just screw into place real easy. Make sure you get them threaded right though, or they won't. See, this one I don't have started correctly. Now she's going. And you go around and around. Now you got to remember where we're putting this. So it's going to go on the wall this way, so we need to be able to tighten those screws this way. Now let's put the one in the top, the one from the wire coming from the fan. Put it in place. Okay. And again, we've screwed that around. I'm going to turn that a little bit more because we got that wood in the back there. And then I always like to make the openings a little bit wider. Then I don't have to stuff the wire so bad. And it just takes a couple of seconds just to move that clamp open a little bit more. Do the same on the one on the end here. And before I get up there, let me show you what I mean about where the wire is going to go. Here's the end of our wire. It'll go into the box. Okay. We'll determine the length, and then we'll make our splice in there. And then we'll tighten those two screws down. You can see how they'll hold the wire in place. Alright, I'll get the box up on the wall now. We brought this wire over from our source. And what I'm going to do is pull it as tight as I can. And then tighten down my two screws here to hold that wire in place. Alright, get the bottom screw now. Now that wire isn't going to go anywhere, and that's the important part. Nice and tight. Now, you see I have to move this guy. I have to loosen him up. So that I can get the screwdriver on there. I can get the screwdriver on him, so we'll tighten up this guy too. This is the new wire we're running from the fan. One's tight. Two's tight. Alright. Now we have an excessive amount of wire here